about how to crack data engineering interview with the product based companies. And many people have messaged me about these questions, and they have tried to frame their questions in multiple ways. I have listed some of the questions which we will be going which we are going to discuss today. So without wasting time, let's start. So many have asked me how many rounds of interview typically happen for data engineering role at product based companies. Actually, it's according to my experience. So I am working as a data engineer 3 at Walmart, and I have given multiple product company for the product based company, and I am only having 3 years of experience. So this may vary, but I am trying to tell my experience. So there are actually 3 rounds, 3 technical round and 1 HR round. So the first round consists of SQL and DSA, and the second round consists of distributed systems or the big data framework discussions, and interviewer may ask you some questions related to batch data pipeline or the streaming pipeline. Third round is the managerial round, and the fourth round is the HR round, where you will be tested based on your behavior patterns and other things. So okay, let's try to discuss each and every round in detail now. So the first round consists of SQL and the basic DSA questions. So SQL is must if interviewer is trying to hire you for the data engineering role. So they can start from very basic questions and they can go to the advanced SQL. And what I've observed that if a company is working on some domain, like Walmart is working on retail domain or chain and supply, and Amazon is working on some e-commerce, they will be trying to give you one table, and they will be asking you or trying to frame multiple SQL questions. And suppose in my case, in one of the when I was giving interview for the 𝗍ici𝗶𝗶, so they have given me healthcare data, and based on that healthcare table, they have tried to frame multiple questions based on that, and they have tried to figure out that how much I am good at the SQL questions. So one of the best things that you can prepare for SQL round is the Windows functions like rank, dense rank, row number, and normal group by, and doing irrigations. You should focus on writing subqueries. You should know how to create temporary table using with statement and multiple other things. So these are the basic things that people actually ask in the data engineering round. That is the first round of the interview. And I have tried to solve a lead code problem. So there are many good problem on lead code based on SQL, and I have tried to solve most of the problem that was there on lead code. And there are multiple sources which you can follow. I have also created one lead code playlist where I have uploaded I think 23 video right now, and I am going to upload multiple other videos. You can follow that video and you can practice the SQL problem. I am also solving lead code premium problems, so you may not be able to get that particular questions if you are not having premium account of lead code. So what you can do, you can just go through that video, and you can go through the description box. I am already supplying the schema of all those tables that I am using. You can copy that schema and paste it in any online MySQL editor, and you can then practice that questions. So before watching the video, I will suggest you to just see that particular questions, pause that video and try to solve it by your own. That will help you a lot. And there is one more channel created by 𝗍𝗶𝗶𝗶. He is a data engineer in Amazon. He is also posting very nice questions on the SQL, and you can follow his content too. I will be providing the link in the description box. The second one is the DSA. So there are multiple people who actually message me that how much DSA is actually required for the data engineering roles. See, you have to understand that while you are working on the big data framework for the distributed systems, it is very hard to focus on DSA problem or do the competitive programming, because you will not be having that much of times. I can really understand. So, and I have not faced any advanced level of DSA problems. So what I can say that you should focus on array, hash map, set, searching algorithm like linear search, and the most important thing, that is the binary search. And then you can focus on all the sorting algorithms like selection sort, bucket sort, merge sort, any other sorting algorithms, and you try to solve questions based on this. And what I have found that people are actually asking most of the questions from the binary search. So you should try to solve multiple questions. The problem with the binary search is that if you have not solved that particular problem in an interview, you will not able to think that particular problem can actually be solved using binary search. So you should focus on solving of binary search problems. So I will give you an example. While I was giving interview of MongoDB, so the MongoDB, in the SQL and the DSA round, they have asked me one particular question, that there is one sorted array, it is rotated by certain k, and you have to find the lowest of that array. So this is very straightforward lead code problem, and it can be easily solved if you know how to apply the binary search. To try to focus on that. And there are multiple optional topics that you can focus, like linked list, stack, queue. And don't devote that much of time to the tree, dynamic programming or greedy. That is actually not asked. I have not faced questions from these topics till now, or recursion also. So I have not faced these questions from this topic like dynamic programming, recursion, greedy and tree. If you are having time, then you focus on that. If you are not having time, just skip it and try to solve the questions from the basic fundamental concept like array, string, hash map, set, linear search, binary search and all sorting algorithms. That is enough. Okay, and that happens in the SQL and DSA round. There will be typically 3 SQL that the interviewer will try to ask. Sometimes they may ask you 2 SQL and 1 DSA problem or 2 DSA problem. That is the first round. Once you will qualify for the first round, then then the second round will be happening, and the second round do consist of typically it will start from your resume, whatever work that you have done, and they will try to ask the questions or questions on the skills that you have mentioned in your resume. Let's suppose you have mentioned Apache Spark or Scala, Python, or any other things, or AWS, or in AWS you have mentioned EMR, Athena, Glue, or S3 bucket, or any other things. So they will be trying to frame their questions based on these particular things. And Apache Spark is most sought things in the data engineering nowadays. So if you have mentioned Apache Spark, you should be ready to answer the conceptual questions, like what is the difference between data sets and data frames and the RDD, and how do you approach the problem, how do you optimize the things. So and the questions will be based on that, and the difference between group by key, reduce by key. This is very easy problem. Sometimes they may ask you, sometimes they may not ask you. And interviewer may be asking that in which type of pipeline you have actually worked, means have you worked on batch pipeline or streaming pipeline. So, and he will be trying to judge you based on your concept that you know and that you have already implemented. So if you are new to the data engineering things, try to make a short, at least one project, and you should implement all by your own. If you are taking any course, don't depend much on that course, and try to create one project and try to focus on that project and try to implement multiple things. Once that is done, then the second round is mostly over, and they will be asking you to design one batch data pipeline or the streaming data pipeline. So this type of questions, how I have tried to approach this type of things. So I was having some of the stacks that I have worked on, right? That I have worked on AWS. I have used SNS notification. I have used SQS. I have used EMR, Glue, Athena, and I have used Apache Spark and Apache Druid, right? So these are some pretty stacks that I have used. So what I was trying to do, if somebody is asking me to build one batch data pipeline, so I was having this many stacks because I am more confident on these stacks, right? So I tried in most of the interview, what I try to create the data pipeline based on the stacks that I know, right? And then I try to move forward with that, and it makes my life more easier. Let's suppose you are using any fancy things and you have not used, and you have only learned, you have not used in your real project, so you may get stuck. So let's suppose I have not used Kafka, And if I'm trying to plug and play Kafka in the interview, if somebody is asking me to design one data pipeline, I may not able to answer those questions based on the questions which will be framed on Kafka, right? If I am confident on Apache Druid, if I am confident on Apache Spark, if I am confident on Scala, if I am confident on SQS, SNS, EMR, Glue, Athena, so I try to make my best data pipeline based on these stacks only. So that helped me a lot to design the data pipeline. And in mostly data engineering interview, this is your system design, and mostly they will be asking you to design the data pipeline, and that is your system design interview. The third round is the managerial round. In the managerial round, your hiring manager may connect with you, and he may ask you several questions based on the project that you have mentioned in your resume. And these questions mostly consist of the optimization that you have done. And he will be giving you some scenario that, let's suppose you are having two tables, one is small, one is big, how you are going to join it, and how you are going to consider if there is lots of shuffling happening. Let's suppose you are there are two type of transformation, right? There is narrow transformation and wide transformation in Apache Spark. How you are going to decrease the shuffling, or that is the wide transformations? Will you be applying the filter before, or will you be applying the filter after group by? So this type of things they will be asking, and they will be also judging you on your behavioral patterns. So try to be very much humble, and if you don't know anything, try to ask the questions. Try to ask questions and try to introspect with him. More questions you will ask, it will be more easier for you to crack the interview. So that's the managerial round. This is a very simple interview. If you if you really worked on your project, it will be very easier for you to crack. The fourth round consists. It's not technical. It's the HR round that will be happening. So in HR round, the HR will be trying to ask that if you have switched multiple company in recent times, why you have done it, and what's the cause of leaving this particular current company. So never ever give any negative response. Never ever give negative response of your current employer or current manager. Try to be more optimistic. Try to be more diplomatic, and then you focus on your skills. And then the salary negotiations will be happening after the HR round. So these are some of the basic things, basic interview process that I have faced. So I am working as a data engineer 3 roles, right? So it may differ for any other data engineer 4 or data engineer 2 or 1 or any other profile, right? So this is my experience, which I have experienced while giving the interview for the multiple product-based company, and I was able to crack most of the company. So let me know what you have faced in the data engineering interview, and for the product-based company or any good service-based company. Please comment in the comment sections, and I hope you get good result in the coming days. And this video, you may find this video useful while preparing for the data engineering roles and preparing for the product-based company. So this is the little suggestions from my sides, and I'm really happy to help. Do connect me on LinkedIn. I try to answer most of the questions, but it's really hard to answer each and every question that I get on LinkedIn. It's very hard. So try to comment in the YouTube section. I will try to reply back, and just connect with me. So if you have liked this video, please like, share and subscribe this video.